The prize. The war had finally ended. Smoke still rose from the broken cities of the Drox planet. Strange green blood covered the battlefields. Human soldiers walked through the ruins, tired and silent. Many had died. Many more were broken. Inside. But Earth had won. At the center of it all stood Captain Rylan. He was tall, strong, and known across the galaxy as the war hero. His armor was scratched and dirty. His eyes were cold. He didn't smile. A human general came to him. His voice was full of respect. "Captain Rylan," he said, "you brought us victory. Earth is proud. The leaders want to reward you. You can. Ask for anything. Wealth, land, a seat in the High Council, even a planet." Rylan looked at him. There was no excitement on his face. "I don't want any of that," he said. The general blinked. "Then what do you want?" Rylan took a deep breath. "I want the Drox princess," he said. "Alive." Silence. The wind blew across the battlefield. A nearby soldier dropped his weapon in shock. "The Drox princess?" the general asked. Slowly. "Yes, but she's hideous," the general said. "Her face is twisted, her body is like an insect, her voice is like poison. She's not even human." "I still want her," Rylan said, his voice calm. People around them whispered. Some laughed nervously. Others looked at him with fear. "Is this a joke?" someone asked. Rylan didn't reply. He wasn't joking. Later, deep inside a prison ship, the Drox princess sat in her cell. The room was dark and cold. She was chained with heavy metal cuffs. No one visited her. No one spoke to her. She was treated like a monster. Her name was Lyra. To humans, she looked strange. Her skin was dark green. Her arms were long and thin. Her eyes glowed like fireflies. She didn't scream or cry. She just waited. Silent. Then the door opened. A single man stepped in. His boots echoed on the metal floor. It was Rylan. The guard outside asked, "Are you sure, sir? She's dangerous. She's killed before." "I'm sure," Rylan said. "Leave us." The door closed behind him. He stood in front of her, studying her. She looked back at him. Her face was full of pride and pain. "Why are you here?" she asked in a low voice. Her English was perfect. Rylan didn't answer right away. "I wanted to see you," he said finally. She laughed, a dry, bitter sound. "Humans fear me, they hate me, but you ask for me as a prize? What are you planning, hero?" "I don't want revenge," he said. "I want answers." "Answers?" she said with surprise. "Yes. Why did your people start the war? What were you really fighting for?" Lyra stared at him. Then she looked away. "You wouldn't believe me," she whispered. "Try me." She stayed silent. For a moment, nothing moved. Then she spoke. "My people were afraid. We saw something coming. Something older than both our races. We had no choice." Rylan frowned. "Something worse than war?" She nodded slowly. "Yes. Much worse." Rylan leaned closer. "Tell me what it is." She looked into his eyes. "Not yet. You're not ready." He stepped back. His mind was full of questions. This was not what he expected. She didn't act like a monster. She didn't beg. She didn't threaten. She was calm, sad, strong. Was everything they told him a lie? That night, Rylan walked alone on the deck of the ship. Stars stretched across the sky like diamonds. He thought about what he had seen, what he had heard. Why did he really ask for her? Even he wasn't sure anymore. Maybe it was a feeling, a shadow in his heart. A strange thought that this war was not what it seemed, that the real enemy was still out there. He looked at the stars. Somewhere in the dark, something moved. Something ancient. Something hungry, and the only one who might know the truth. Was a creature everyone feared. The Drox princess. The monster, in chains. The war was over. But something darker was just beginning. Captain Ryland sat alone in his private quarters on the ship Iron Vow. The room was quiet, but his mind was loud. He couldn't stop thinking about her, the Drox princess. Why? Had she spoken in perfect English? Why did her eyes look like she had seen something horrifying? And most of all, why didn't she seem like a monster? He turned on the old war recordings. On the screen, Drox soldiers screamed and charged at human armies. Their bodies were twisted, insect-like, sharp claws, long teeth. No mercy. But she didn't look like them. She looked like something else. Not quite a soldier. Not quite a queen. Something broken. The next day, he returned to the prison level of the ship. It was cold and silent. Bright white lights made the metal walls feel like ice. He walked past other prisoners, enemy leaders, traitors, war criminals. Some screamed at him, some cried, some begged. But in the deepest part of the ship, behind a thick black door, was Cell 7, her cell. The guards stood at attention. "You're not allowed in alone, sir," one said. "I was allowed yesterday," Ryland replied, calm. "Yes, but the council ordered new restrictions. She's not to be spoken to. She's too dangerous." Ryland's voice turned sharp. "I'm giving direct orders. Open it." The guards hesitated, then obeyed. The heavy door hissed open. Darkness. The lights inside the cell were broken. Only the faint red glow of the emergency light remained. She sat in the far corner, still chained, still silent, watching. Ryland stepped in. The door closed. Behind him, he waited. She didn't speak, she didn't move, but her eyes glowed, faint yellow. Watching everything, he spoke first. "I want to know the truth." She tilted her head slightly. "I told you already," she said. "You're not ready." "I think I am," Ryland replied. "Then you will have to earn it," she said coldly. "Fine," he said. "Start with this. You speak perfect English. Why?" Her voice was soft, but every word was clear. "Because I learned. I studied your people before the war even started. Your language, your stories, your songs. I wanted to understand what we were going to destroy." That answer shook him. "You knew the war would happen?" She looked away. "I didn't want it to happen," she whispered. "But they did." "Who?" She looked back at him. Her voice dropped to a near whisper. "The ones above me. My mother, the queen, the generals. They were afraid." "Afraid of what?" She said nothing, then leaned forward. "Tell me, Captain Ryland, do you believe Earth was the only target?" "What do you mean?" She gave a bitter smile. "Earth was the first because it's the loudest." Ryland's heart began to beat faster. "Loudest? Your machines, your weapons, your mining in deep space, your signals. You were waking it. What is it?" She leaned back into the shadows. "The dark seed." Ryland frowned. "That's just a Drox myth." "No," she said. "It's real. And now it knows your name." A deep silence fell between them. Later that night, Ryland sat in the war room. He pulled up ancient Drox data logs, stolen files from the enemy's systems. One file was locked with strange alien code. He entered the date Lyra gave him. The file opened. What he saw froze his blood. There were images, black shapes moving through stars, not ships, not creatures, something in between, shadows with eyes, wings made of smoke, teeth like knives made of dark matter. Each world they visited had one word stamped next to it: consumed. In one recording, a Drox scientist screamed into the camera, "We thought we could hide. We were wrong. They don't want planets. They want fear." The feed cut off. The next day, Ryland returned to Lyra's cell. He looked at her differently now. Not as a monster, but as someone who had seen the monsters. "You were trying to stop it, weren't you?" he asked. She nodded once. "But Earth only saw you as the enemy." "Because I looked like one," she said quietly. He stared at her hands, still chained, still shaking. He pulled a key card from his jacket. The red light on her cuffs turned green. The chains dropped. She didn't move. He stepped back. You're free. Inside this cell. For now. Talk to me. Teach me. Help me prepare. Lyra stood slowly. Her legs were weak, but her voice was strong. You've made a dangerous choice, Captain. Your own people will turn against you. I don't care, Rylan said. I've seen the truth now. I can't unsee it. She looked at him. Really, looked. For the first time, her face softened. You may be human, she whispered, but maybe you're not like the others. A loud alarm suddenly rang across the ship. Rylan turned toward the door. What's going on? A voice came through the speaker. Unknown vessel approaching. No ID, no response. Shape, unclear. Rylan's blood ran cold. Lyra looked at him. Her glowing eyes narrowed. They found us. Beneath the skin. The unknown ship moved silently through the dark. No lights, no heat, no signal. Just a shape in the blackness, getting closer. The Iron Vow went on high alert. Soldiers ran through the halls, weapons charged, shields were raised. But none of them had seen anything like this before. It wasn't a ship in the normal sense. Its surface looked alive, like it was breathing. Parts of it pulsed. Other parts melted into the shadows. Cameras couldn't focus on it. Scans failed. Captain Rylan stood on the bridge, staring at the view screen. The shadow ship just hovered in space, outside firing range, waiting, watching. He didn't know what it wanted, but deep inside he knew who it wanted. Lyra. Down in the lower deck, the Drox princess stood quietly in her cell. She could feel it. Something old. Something terrible. A memory from her childhood returned, a nightmare she once thought was just a story. Now it was here. Rylan came to her cell again, this time with more guards. I need answers, he said. Lyra didn't look up. Her voice was low. You brought this on yourself when you brought me here. The dark seed watches its enemies. But it feeds on fear. We're not afraid, one guard said. Lyra finally looked up slowly. You will be, she said. Rylan waved the guards away. They're not ready, he told her. No one is. He stepped inside the cell again, the door closing behind him. Why? Did you change? He asked. She looked at him, confused. What do you mean? You're not like the others. You don't scream. You don't kill. You don't even look like them anymore. The Drox I fought in battle were beasts. But you're different. Lyra stood and walked closer. Her chains were gone now, but she didn't threaten him. Do you want to know why I'm different? She asked. Rylan nodded. She placed a hand on the wall. Her skin shimmered, and for a moment her entire body shifted. The green color faded. Her face became less alien. Her fingers shortened. Her voice softened. In less than 10 seconds, she looked almost human. Rylan took a step back, shocked. How are you doing that? She looked down at her hands. My body responds to emotion. When I feel hatred, I become like the Drox. But when I feel connection, trust, I change. Into what? I don't know, she said. I've never been like this before. Is this real? He asked. It's as real as your scars, she said, pointing to the burn on his neck. We both carry pain. Mine just shows differently. He stared at her. This creature who had once been his enemy, now becoming something he didn't understand. Something he couldn't explain. Something beautiful. That night, the unknown ship moved, closer. Then it did something no one expected. It spoke. A voice came through all the ship's systems, not loud, soft like a whisper behind your ear, but every person on the Iron Vow heard it. We see you. We smell your fear. Give us the seed, or be eaten. Panic broke out on the ship. Some thought it was a trick. Others thought the Drox had returned, but Rylan knew. It's not talking about a seed, he said to his officers. It's talking about her. Rylan ran back to Lyra's cell. She was already waiting. They found me, she said. We can fight them, Rylan said. We've beaten worse. No, she replied. You haven't. These aren't enemies you can shoot. They live in darkness. They grow in minds. They don't just destroy planets. They break people. Then how do we stop them? He asked. She looked at him carefully. By understanding what they want. And why they're afraid of me. You said they want you because you're the seed. She nodded. When I was a child, I touched something I shouldn't have. A piece of one of their ships. Dead but still alive. It changed me. It marked me. My people called it a curse. Rylan stared at her. You carry part of them? I carry part of their power, she said, but I never used it. I was afraid. And now? Now I'm more afraid of what will happen if I don't. Back on the bridge, the shadow ship began to open, its front split like a mouth. Inside, only darkness. Then something flew out. Single small pod, black covered in spikes, heading straight toward the iron vow. Fire, the commander shouted. The guns shot plasma. The pod burned, exploded, but another one followed. Then 5 more. The ship shook. Lights went out. Systems failed. Rylan rushed back to the bridge with Lyra following behind him. You can stop this? He asked. She closed her eyes. I can try. What do you need? Time and your trust. Rylan looked around. His crew was scared. His ship was breaking apart. The enemy was beyond anything he'd seen. He nodded. I trust you. She smiled. Then opened the outer doors. What? Trust me. Rylan gave the order. As the doors opened, Lyra stepped forward, her body glowing now, not green, but silver blue, her eyes bright like stars. Her hands stretched forward. The shadow pods stopped moving. Frozen. Then one by one, they began to turn back toward the dark ship. The whispering voice returned. The seed has awakened. We will return. The shadow ship slowly turned and vanished into hyperspace. Gone. For now. Everyone on the iron vow was silent. The crew looked at Lyra with awe, fear, confusion. But Rylan looked at her with something else. Respect. You saved us, he said. Lyra looked tired. I only delayed them. What do they want? She met his eyes. They want everything. The lost truth. The ship was quiet now. Too quiet. After the shadow ship disappeared, no one spoke. Soldiers walked the halls like ghosts. Lights flickered. Some believed the threat was gone. Others knew better. Captain Rylan didn't sleep. He sat alone in the war room, watching the same file again and again, the one Lyra helped him unlock. The footage of a Drox scientist screaming about something they couldn't kill, something that fed on fear, something that doesn't take land, it takes souls. He closed the screen, rubbed his eyes. There were too many questions, and not enough time. In the medbay, Lyra lay still. Her skin was pale blue now, not her usual green. Her body had changed again since she used her power to stop the shadow pods. The doctor scanned. Her. She's stable, he told Rylan. But I've never seen DNA like this. It's rewriting itself. Rylan nodded. She's evolving. The doctor looked uneasy. Sir, are we sure she's still on our side? Rylan didn't answer. He wasn't sure of anything anymore. When Lyra woke, she was calm. She looked at Rylan with tired eyes. They're not gone, she whispered. They'll be back. Stronger. Then we need to be ready, Rylan said. But to do that, I need to understand everything. No more half-truths. She nodded. I'll tell you, she said. But once you hear it, you'll never see your world the same way again. They moved to a private room, soundproof, off the grid. Rylan turned off all cameras. No one else was allowed inside. Lyra sat across from him. She began to speak. In my youth, I believed the Drox were the only intelligent species in the galaxy. We were strong, proud. But then we found something buried deep beneath a dead moon. What was it? Rylan asked. A prison, she said, not for a creature, but for a thought. Rylan frowned. A thought? She nodded. A living idea. Something that could move between minds. It had no form, but it could become anything. It was called the Dark Seed. And you touched it? No, she said. My mother did. She was the queen. It whispered to her, promised her victory, power. She believed it. She brought it home. And that's when the war began? Yes, Lyra whispered, but not just against you. Against everything. Against the galaxy. Rylan leaned forward. Why Earth, then? Why us? Lyra sighed. Because your people were loud. You built machines that screamed into the dark. You sent signals across space. You mined stars. You woke things better left sleeping. He thought of Earth's constant broadcasts. Songs, data, messages into the void. They once thought it was hopeful. Now it seemed foolish. We were shining a light, he said quietly. And monsters hate light, she said. Lyra stood and walked to the window. Outside, stars blinked softly in the distance. I tried to warn my people, she said. But they didn't listen. They wanted war. They believed they could control it. Instead, it consumed them. What about you? Rylan asked. Why? Were you spared? I wasn't, she said. I carry part of it inside me, a fragment. That's why they fear me. Because they know I understand it. Rylan stepped closer. Then we need you. The whole galaxy needs you. But your people won't accept me, she replied. Not truly, to them I'm still a monster. He shook his head. Not to me. They stood there in silence, watching the stars. Then the alarm sounded again. Unauthorized transmission detected from Earth High Command. Rylan rushed to the console. A message blinked on the screen. Rylan, returned the Drox prisoner immediately. She is a threat to galactic security. You are under investigation for treason. He froze. Lyra stepped beside him. They're afraid of what I know. No, he said. They're afraid of what we might do together. She looked at him. You think someone on Earth knows the truth? I don't think, Rylan said. I know. They snuck into the ship's core systems late that night. Rylan bypassed the firewalls, opened a secret data channel, and searched classified archives. File after file showed something strange. Years before the war, Earth had already discovered the same signals the Drox had. Faint whispers in deep space. Recordings of strange patterns. Even a captured Drox escape pod. Long before the war had officially started. We knew. Rylan whispered. Our leaders knew, and they didn't tell us. They thought they could use it, Lyra said, and same as the Drox, same mistake. Suddenly, an alert flashed on the screen. Intruder detected in core network, security en route. Run, Rylan said. They barely escaped the control room. Armed soldiers stormed in seconds later. Rylan and Lyra hid in the maintenance tunnels, breathing hard. You're not safe here anymore, he told her. Neither are you, she replied. That night, in the darkness of the engineering bay, Rylan made a choice. He opened the emergency pod bay and activated a stealth ship. We're leaving, he said. Lyra looked at him. Where? To find the last Drox archive. The one you mentioned. The hidden moon. Maybe it holds the full truth. She stepped forward. If we go, we become fugitives. Then let them call me a traitor, he said. I'd rather be a traitor to Earth than a blind soldier for monsters. She stared at him, then slowly placed her hand on his. Then we go together. They entered the ship. As the engines warmed up, Rylan sent one last message to the crew. If I don't return, remember this. The war isn't over. It never was. It just changed shape. The stealth ship vanished into the stars, and behind them, the dark began to rise again, the Forbidden Alliance. The stars stretched like silver rivers as the stealth ship cut through deep space. Inside, Captain Ryland sat in silence. He had just abandoned his rank, his ship, his crew, his home, and all for the one creature the galaxy feared most, the Drox princess, Lyra. They were alone now, hunted by Earth, hated by the Drox, trapped between two enemies. But they had something neither side did. The truth. The stolen ship Whisperfall was small but fast, hidden from radar, equipped with stealth tech. It drifted like a ghost across the edge of the galaxy. They were heading to a forgotten place, an ancient Drox archive buried inside a dead moon. Lyra believed it held answers. Ryland hoped it held hope. Inside the control room, Lyra stared at the star map. This place was erased from every record, she said. Only one Drox priest knew the way. He gave me the coordinates before they silenced him. Why would your people hide the truth? Ryland asked. Because the truth would break them. Suddenly, a blinking red light appeared on the screen. Incoming transmission. Source: Earth High Command. Encrypted. Private message. Ryland opened it. A familiar face appeared. Admiral Corrin, one of Earth's top leaders, a man Ryland once trusted with his life. The Admiral looked tired, angry. Ryland, you have 48 hours to return the prisoner and surrender your ship. If you don't, you will be declared an enemy of Earth. Your family will be arrested. Your name erased. You will be hunted until the end of your life. Then the screen cut. Ryland stared at the empty monitor. Lyra watched him. I'm sorry, she said softly. He didn't reply. Instead, he walked to the window and looked out at the stars. Hours passed in silence. Then something strange happened. The ship's lights flickered. The engines hummed differently. Lyra suddenly stood alert. They're here. Ryland frowned. Who? The Darkseed. They found us. Before he could react, the ship dropped out of hyperspace. In front of them was a black field of space. No stars, no planets, just darkness thick like smoke. In the middle of that dark, something moved. A shape. It looked like a ship, but it wasn't. It looked like a creature, but it wasn't. It was both. Living metal. Burning eyes. Wings made of shadow. It pulsed in and out of visibility, and it was watching them. Lyra's hands began to glow again, silver light flowing through her veins. They want to speak, she said. Ryland blinked. Speak? She nodded. But not with words. She touched the ship's control panel. Suddenly everything changed. Ryland saw flashes, visions, not real, but not dreams either. He saw Earth burning. He saw his own face, twisted. He saw Lyra, alone in a cage made of bones. And he saw the Darkseed, growing like roots through space, feeding on fear, turning planets into dust. Then everything went dark. Ryland gasped and stumbled back. What was that? He asked. They're showing you what comes next, Lyra said. Unless we stop them. How? She looked at him. We fight fire with fire. She opened a hidden compartment in the ship. Inside was an ancient weapon shaped like a black star. Drox technology mixed with something older. Ryland touched it. It felt like ice and fire at the same time. This is from the Darkseed, he said. Yes, she replied. But it's broken. The missing piece is inside the Drox archive. That's why we're going. Suddenly alarms rang. A human battleship had appeared. Not Earth. Not Drox. Mercenaries. Hunters. Bounty killers paid to bring them back. The Whisperfall shook violently. Lyra took the controls. Hold on. They dived through an asteroid field. Plasma blasts followed them. Metal burned. Shields dropped. Ryland ran to the rear turret and fired back. He hit one of the pursuing ships and it exploded into fire. Another one locked onto them. "We won't make it," he shouted. "I can stop them," Lyra said, "but I need to use it." "No," Rylan warned. "It could change you." She looked at him with calm eyes. "I'm already changed." She placed her hand on the weapon. Her body lit up. Her voice echoed, double-layered, part her, part something else. Then she screamed. A pulse exploded from her body. A wave of light. Not fire, not electricity, something new. The mercenary ships shut down instantly, floating dead in space. The battle was over, but Lyra collapsed. Rylan caught her. She was shaking. Pale. He held her tight. "Don't do that again," he whispered. She smiled weakly. "I didn't do it for me. I did it for us." They reached the moon a day later, a cold, dark place, silent, abandoned. They entered the ancient Drox archive, broken statues, dead machines, strange writings on the walls. In the center, a sealed vault. Lyra placed her hand on it. It opened. Inside was a memory, crystal, glowing purple, alive. She handed it to Rylan. "This holds everything. The real history, the origin of the Darkseed, how it was born, how it can die." He took it. Then the ground shook. Something was coming. Something already inside the moon. "They knew we'd come," Lyra said. "They left something behind." From the shadows, a creature stepped forward. Not Drox, not human. It looked like it had once been both. Half Rylan's face, half Lyra's. Twisted, smiling. "They've already begun," it said. "The betrayal." The creature stepped out of the shadows. Half of it looked like Rylan, half like Lyra. Its skin was cracked, stitched together with black wires and bone. Its voice echoed with many layers. Deep, soft, angry, calm, all at once. Rylan raised his weapon. Lyra froze. The creature smiled. "Don't shoot. I am what you will become." Rylan fired. The plasma bolt hit the thing's chest, but it didn't fall. Instead, the wound melted shut, like wax. It laughed. "You brought the seed here," it said, eyes glowing. "Now the roots can grow." Lyra stepped forward, her eyes burned silver again. "What are you?" "I am the proof," it replied. "The future. The union of fear and power, born from both of you." "You're a lie?" she whispered. "No," the creature said, grinning. "I'm the child of truth." It disappeared in a flash of black mist. The archive began to collapse. Rylan grabbed the memory crystal. Lyra touched the ground with her glowing hand and opened a portal through the floor. Drox tech, ancient and forgotten. They jumped through just as the entire chamber caved in. Back aboard the Whisperfall, Rylan stared at the crystal. It pulsed, gently in his hand, not like a machine but like a heartbeat. Lyra sat silently nearby. Neither spoke. Something between them had changed. That night, Rylan watched old files from Earth. Then he found something that shattered him. A secret mission. Report, dated months before the war began. Subject: contact with Drox Princess confirmed. Objective: manipulate subject through engineered psychic wave test. Result: emotional instability. Genetic mutation triggered. Status: Princess Lyra now bonded with Darkseed. Core. Recommendation: continue to observe. Possible use as future weapon. Rylan's hand trembled. Earth had known. They hadn't just observed the Drox. They had interfered, experimented, and worst of all, Lyra was part of it. Was she lying this whole time? Had she been sent to manipulate him? He stormed into the main room. Lyra looked up. "Something's wrong. Tell me the truth," Rylan demanded. "Did you know Earth experimented on you?" She blinked. "No." "Don't lie to me," he said. "I'm not lying." He threw the report file at her. "Then what is this?" She read it. Her hands shook, her breathing quickened. This is not possible. I never knew." But they knew you were connected to the dark seed before the war. They used you as bait. Maybe you're still being used. Lyra backed away. No, I didn't choose this. Maybe you didn't need to, Rylan said coldly. Maybe they built you to make me trust you. And it worked. Tears filled her eyes. But they weren't human tears. They glowed. I would never hurt you, she whispered. He stepped back, but the damage was done. Hours passed. Lyra sat in the dark, alone. She remembered things now. A cold room, white walls, Earth scientists speaking above her, voices telling her she was just a test, needles, pain, dreams that weren't hers. They did something to her, and now Rylan didn't trust her. Maybe he never truly had. Rylan sat in the cockpit, gripping the controls tightly. Suddenly, an alert flashed. Message from Earth High Command, private. Play? Yes, no. He hesitated, then pressed yes. Admiral Corrin's face appeared again. Rylan, you've seen too much. She's dangerous. This was never about the war. It was about what's coming. The seed is awake, and it's already spreading. Through her, through you. Come back now and we'll fix it, or don't. And be part of its birth. Then came another voice. Not from the screen, from behind him. I told you. The union has begun. Rylan turned. The twisted creature, the fusion, stood there again. Somehow inside the ship. Its body flickered between solid and shadow. I am already here, it said. And I am both of you. Rylan reached for his gun, but it was too late. The creature vanished again, not in smoke this time, but into his own shadow. Rylan collapsed to the floor, gasping. Lyra ran in. He looked up at her, eyes wide, terrified. It's inside me, he whispered. It's trying to use me. Lyra rushed to him, holding his face gently. You have to fight it, she said. You're stronger than this. He gritted his teeth. I'm not sure I am. Yes, you are, she said, because you chose to trust me. When no one else did. That wasn't programming, that was you. Tears ran down his face. I almost gave up on you, he said. And I almost gave up on myself, she replied. Suddenly the crystal glowed bright in the corner. It projected a map, not of the galaxy, but of a place between galaxies, a void. A place not on any star chart. In the center of the map, one word blinked. Root. Lyra touched the hologram. This is where the dark seed began, she said, and maybe where it can be ended. But if we go there, Rylan said. There's no turning back, she nodded. I know, he stood, we go together. Just then a blaring red siren echoed through the ship. A voice from the comm system screamed, Earth fleet incoming. 12 ships. Full lockdown. Orders. Capture Rylan alive. Kill the Drox. Rylan's face turned to steel. They're already here. Lyra stepped beside him. We don't run. No, he said. We fight. He turned toward the control panel and typed a code. The ship's lights turned red. Self-defense mode. Active. Turrets popped out from the ship's hull. Shields surged with power. Engines glowed. They were outnumbered. But they had something Earth didn't. Each other. And in the dark void of space, the root began to stir. It had waited for thousands of years. It would wait no longer. The real hero. He asked for her as a prize, but in the end, she was the only one who could save them all. The Whisperfall shook violently as Earth's warships surrounded it. 12 massive vessels, hundreds of guns, thousands of trained soldiers, and one silent order. Bring Captain Rylan home, eliminate the alien. Inside the ship, Rylan and Lyra stood side by side in the command bay. Their fingers hovered over the controls, shields at full power, weapons armed. We can't outrun them, Rylan said. We're not supposed to, Lyra replied. The memory crystal pulsed beside them, casting shadows across the floor. It projected. The map again, the same location blinking at the edge of known space. Root. The longer we stay here, the closer they get to it. Lyra warned. They'll follow us, they'll awaken it. Rylan clenched his fists. Then we make them choose. Destroy us now, or listen to the truth. On board the Earth flagship Vigilance, Admiral Corrin paced the bridge. Open communications with Rylan, he ordered. A screen flickered to life. Rylan's face appeared, calm but resolute. Admiral, you're making a mistake. Corrin's jaw tightened. You've already made yours, Captain. You trusted a monster. Rylan leaned forward. She's not the monster. The thing you're chasing, the thing you woke, it doesn't care who's human and who's Drox. It only wants one thing, fear, and you're feeding it. Stand down, Rylan, Corrin growled, or we turn you to dust. Lyra stepped into frame. We're going to the root, she said. If you stop us now, you doom this galaxy. The Admiral's face twisted. Then let it burn. He cut the line. The Whisperfall jumped into hyperspace. The Earth fleet followed. Behind them, hidden in the folds of space, shadows began to stir. Large shapes, too large to be ships, too silent to be machines. The dark seed was awake now, and hungry. They arrived. The root wasn't a planet. It wasn't even real space. It was a wound in the universe, a spinning hole of light and darkness, a place where stars bent and time broke. Around it floated remains of ships, bodies, and broken moons. The battlefield of forgotten wars. Lyra stared at it, her skin glowing silver again. This is where it all began, she whispered. And where I end. Rylan turned sharply. What are you talking about? She touched the crystal. I understand now. I wasn't just connected to the dark seed, I was meant to contain it. What? My body, my mind. It was made to be its prison. That's why Earth and the Drox both feared me. That's why I change. It's not a curse, it's a key. Rylan stepped back. Then we use that key. We lock it away again. But she shook her head. There's no locking it away this time. It knows too much. It's already begun to spread. Across minds, across machines, across you. Rylan looked down at his hands. They were trembling again. Then what? He whispered. She looked into his eyes. I have to merge with it. Absorb it completely. But once I do, I won't be me anymore. He stared at her. The princess he once called a monster. The enemy he once wanted to kill. The prize he once demanded. Now she was the only thing standing between life and extinction. He shook his head. There has to be another way. There's not, she said gently. But I'm not afraid anymore. Behind them, the Earth fleet arrived. Admiral Corrin gave the order. Fire. The first missiles launched. Rylan and Lyra stood at the edge of the ship looking out into the dark. She turned to him one last time. I'm not your enemy. He reached out and took her hand. You never were. Then she stepped into the void. Her body glowed, then cracked open with light. A blinding pulse spread across the root. The missiles stopped midair. The Earth fleet powered down. Completely. Silent. The shadow creatures shrieked and vanished into the folds of space, screaming in fear for the first time. Then silence. The light faded. Lyra was gone. Rylan stood alone on the command deck. The memory crystal had turned black. Dead. The universe felt quieter now, like something had been screaming in the background all along. And now, for the first time, it had finally stopped. 3 months later, Earth Command dropped all charges against Rylan. They called him a hero, built statues in his name, offered him medals. He refused all of it. Instead, he left. No one knew where. Some said he returned to the Ait root. Others said he vanished into deep space, but those who knew him best knew the truth. In a garden on a quiet planet, a child played in the dirt. She looked strange, eyes too bright, skin that shimmered silver under sunlight. She smiled when she saw the stars. A voice, not hers, not quite, whispered in the hour wind. Even monsters can love. Even monsters can save. And far, far beyond the edge of the galaxy, the dark watched. It remembered her, and it was afraid. The end.